Okie dokie. It's Control E. There we go. Control E removes all exclusions. Let's get it started, hey? Call some attention to ourselves. Oh, hello, friends. Well, that's quite the welcoming party here. Start exuding some toxicity to begin. Oof. I don't like you. Symbol of torment. Not what we're looking for today, if I'm being honest with you. So I guess we could switch to some javelin use, try and take this buddy out right away. At a certain point, it definitely becomes worth it to use a condenser vein, especially if we can make some nice noise here, call a lot of attention our way, then it definitely becomes fully worth it to launch out some clouds, hoping that we get some effective ones this time. I guess we're more likely to get effective ones now. At least we're finally not in a branch where poison is completely useless, so there is that. But like some corrosive clouds or something. That'd be pretty sweet, right, game? In fact, this is almost enough experience on screen, I feel, to refresh the condenser vein, so let's do it. And holy crap, we did, in fact, get acid clouds. Never a doubt in my mind. Also love to see these Earth Elementalists stranded here, probably forever. As long as I don't accidentally break out here because of the Elementalists or anything. That's fun. I like that. But okie dokie. Let's try and make the best of this acidic situation. It should be extremely effective for all of our intents and purposes here, if just to help us take care of a bunch of these highly evasive sons of guns. Perfect. Definitely seeming to do absolute wonders. Just a couple enemies at the back. I guess if I take one step back, then anyone who wants to hit us has to come into our horrible destruction, which you'd love to see. Guess I'm leaving one square open without said destruction, but that should be fine. Especially some magna bolts to take them all out. Not too bad. And we did in fact recharge the condenser vein, which is awesome. Yes, that might have been a half decent time to call the retreat, and I'm still on the cusp here. As our clouds begin to fade, let's maybe start taking a couple steps back. Just seeing what falls in after us. Do one more toxic irradiation. Dang it, where's that demonologist? There they are. Immediately poisonous vapors on that son of a gun. Actually, who? Oh crap, some of you are from that other buddy. Ah, that's interesting. Also cut off our own retreat because we went back far enough that the Earth... or I guess Elementalist. I keep calling them Earth Elementalists in my head. That's not quite accurate. But regardless, those sons of guns did get in behind me. But that should be okay here, as I can just start focusing down. Dang it, why did you switch places? Sir, I was having a good time fighting your friend. I did not want to fight you, Hell Sentinel. So things just got scary again, but Demonologist relatively close to being taken out. 69% chance to be hit. Probably 1 or 2 hits to kill, right? Let's go for it. If we have to, we can still just blink the heck out of here. In fact, I'm already twitching towards doing so, but if the Hell Sentinel isn't going to do anything of note, then that works for me. 7 silver javelins. Let's do it. Okay, still not one shot away from death by any stretch of the imagination, so there we go. Take care of the summoners. The summons will follow. Ooh. I hope that's the closest we get to death here, because all things considered, that wasn't too bad. Can still see a bunch of friendly faces waiting for us, of course. Yeah, there are still a few elves in here. Whole bunch of resources at our disposal. Let's start here, shall we? Phantom Mirror, exactly what we were looking for. Let's immediately make some room in our inventory for this. So I must question. Dropping the sword. Also, when did I get a scroll of acquirement? I hope not a long time ago and I just haven't noticed. That'd be embarrassing. Another triple will regen classic ego amulet. That's wild. This is so similar to the one we're wearing, except ours is slightly better without that RF minus. Can't quite afford that. Scarf of Resistance, though. That's high potentiality to be our choice here. Been struggling with resistances so far, and we really have been struggling with fire resistance in particular, which is pivotal to the final section of the game for sure. So, let's see, maybe I drop this armor. We can probably find better armor than this, right? You'd think so. Choices made available to us. Making inventory space sucks. Screw it. That polymorph wand is going down. There we go. Struggling over my words. Okay. Decent number of spells in that book, or unknown spells at the very least, but nothing quite that we're looking for. Most namely, Ignite Poison still would be more than happy to check out. But let's make sure that we haven't missed too many spell books in the recent past year, shall we? Visibility. Nice odds. Does it have more of a drawback now, or can I spam this? Magical Contamination. Okay, that's it. Cool. That's probably really nice to know. It's a perfect like utility spell to tag along with more proactive choices here. But we will see how it goes. 'Cause again, find ourselves needing to take care of a demonologist, ASAP, fun stuff, and then just a necromancer. I'm totally cool with fighting on my own. Very nifty. Can ignore that, can ignore that. We're really gonna have to run havoc with our auto pickup settings, make sure that all this stuff isn't annoying us quite so much in the future here. Especially since we did just get one of the last pieces to the puzzle here. Enchant weapon, ignore evasion. I'm gonna pick up the spellbook. And wow, we finally just got blink with that, huh? That took a while. I'm definitely gonna be learning blink right away here. But what else do we get here? Infestation. If we're able to cast it, might be kind of nice. Ooh, a different reflect brand artifact. Fortunately, nothing quite that we're willing to trade off on. Ours has that and the willpower needed to survive. Okie dokie. That should be most of the stuff here, I guess. Might as well check out the halberd, even though very, very unlikely that we replace our shield with anything at this stage. And perfect. That should be just about everything. Oh wait, what was under the sword? Box of beasts. Okay, definitely can ignore that. And I guess we did leave some enemies behind here. Ooh, alchemy and evocations. I'm currently looking to curse my ring. Alchemy isn't quite what I was going for. I'm really wanting element, I think. But we did want to change out our weapon as well. Am I wearing this ring for the rest of existence? Yeah, fairly likely actually. Even if just for the RN. I guess it's always with the asterisk that you can put onto whether or not you want to destroy stuff with Ash, is that instead of am I going to wear this for the rest of the run with higher powered stuff, it's still a question of am I happy to keep wearing this unless something appreciably better comes along. Because I could always find a ring that has RN and RF, and then I'll happily destroy this without a second thought. Let's see. Alchemy Evo. So poison, transmutation, evocations. Max out Evo pretty quickly here, or at least relative to the rest of our skills. I think I will. I think I've talked myself into it. We are using a whole lot of poison throughout the entire course of our journey as well, so that doesn't hurt either. And last but not least, let's do a find period just to make sure that none of these elves were equipped with a really nice artifact that I may want to yoink for my own personal perusal and use. Though it does not seem to be the case here. Indeed, it is not. But hey, we at least got ourselves to the point that I was hoping to before heading off to Snake to finish off that floor. Can't believe we still haven't gotten our second rune. It feels like an eternity ago. But can go to Snake Pit here, and let's immediately head down to Snake 2, which was our last fully explored floor, because the third, of course, is where we ran into the Demon Lord themselves. Let's take a peek, though. Okay, this stairway is actually probably looking like the best. I believe that both other ones lead to worse scenarios. Guess we can double check that though, but this is right next to Mara, and this one is also right next to Mara. Perfect. Exactly as I remembered. Also, should always have statue form on before heading down to here. And let's see. I guess this could be another condenser vein scenario. Should probably wait till I'm surrounded by the serpent. Always a sketchy prospect when you start an idea with wait till I'm surrounded. But I do believe that to be prudent here. Let's start with one vapors, or not vapors, but OTR, just to affect all the salamanders around us. And then, come on, blink everyone in. You know you want to do it, Guardian Serpent. Wait, just hit me. There we go, perfect. And then now, can, without guilt, throw in a condenser vein, make sure we're hitting on all cylinders here, and let's follow it up even with an irradiate just to absolutely destroy everyone who's surrounding us. Love to see it. That was partially prudent in my mind too, because I didn't want the Naga here to try and get around the group and trigger this alarm trap. We're trying not to let Mara know quite yet that we're in and ready to end their existence. Not feeling quite as generous as last time. We're not going to let them live for any longer. Perfect. Definitely turned out very nicely, and we're probably not too far away from recharging that, even with a group like this. Definitely less experience than clearing a giant room of elves, but still definitely appreciable. And come on, Mara, where are you? Where is he? So I just tab my way through the fluff, losing more health than I probably should or would if I was paying closer attention to the fight, but whatever works at the end of the day here. I'm also going to step next to the polearm user. Oh, there are two polearm users. I am a fool, but irradiate was still the end goal here, and in fact can probably get away with a couple casts of that. Just try and blast all these buddies out of existence. Love to see it. Then bring in my snake pals of my own to finish the job. Perfect. Now where the heck are you, Mara? Can definitely ignore an enchant weapon scroll. Another scroll of blinking. Holy moly. That brings our running total up to something like 9. More than you would hopefully ever need in a game. Of course, things can definitely go south real quick here, and I could live to regret those words, but a lot more than I would expect from a game, I guess, is the safer way of phrasing that, to not immediately put myself at risk of karmic irony. Excuse me, friends. You're so fast. Just get back. And still no Mara, of course. Has me suspicious in its own way. Where are you hiding? Especially on a floor like this. I guess we were in the center of the floor with Mara, and there are all 4 quadrants to kind of split out to. So it does make sense in its own way. Of course, it's going to be the hardest quadrant that we've ever faced, I'm sure. It's the one that just happens to be housing Mara. Ah, that's probably them, right? Hello? Sir? Sir? Where'd you go? What the heck? Again, just too fast. I saw them. They're here. Perfect. Start with the Phantom Mirror. And then... how should I follow that up? Because do I have any fantastic spells that I want to... ooh, we can definitely go statue form. And then... do I want to fight my own ghost? Not so much. I prefer to take care of Mara here. Mara, please. Sir, please. I guess that's fine. We'll just use Condenser Vein, pulling out all the stops to take care of one of the scary uniques, of course. Unfortunately, it did blink out right at the appropriate moment there where I was hoping to get some acid damage, but fortunately, they turned around and decided to come back for more, so that works out. I'm going to use one of my lightning rods. I don't even know if it's at all worth it. Do you have resistance to that? You're not resistant to electricity, so get wrecked. And last but not least, what else? Just resistant to poison, not immune. Huh. So let's stack up some of that on you with our mace here. Give the mace a good final hurrah here, since we are going to be replacing it pretty soon with a more up-to-snuff weapon for the stage of the game we're at. But there we go. Are able to take out Mara with relatively few complications. Probably pulled out too many stops, all things considered. We might have, and almost definitely could have gone away with less. But always happy to be wrong in that direction. Much preferred towards being too lackadaisical with our preparation, right? But let's use some irradiates here. Just quickly get through the masses. And perfect. Oh, I didn't even realize somebody had a distortion weapon there. Oh, that's the kind of stuff that gets me upset with my own play in the future. So I find myself in the abyss and losing a promising character. But, of course, never didn't have it, so all is well. Here, this has got to be the end vault, so let's just lock that section off. Keep going here. Ooh, and I was hoping to still run into a few shops, so I'm very glad to see that that is indeed the case. Oh, let's get some more poison coming down on the Sally Pals. And... is that enough? Guess not really. Let's pull the stops, send out some irradiates, step into the middle of everyone, radiate again. Perfect. And that was much better. What's up? Assorted antiques. Let me take a look. Ooh, leather armor might be worth checking out just to see what kind of egos we get off of it. I mean, we could probably afford heavier armor is the only thing. I want an artifact like ring mail or something to that, but I guess as we're trying to cast better and better spells, we might end up regretting any changes in that department. Because let's see how we're doing. Wow, we're actually in the yellow for the level 8 spells. That's pretty huge. Maybe now's not the time to rank up my armor. The leather wouldn't be too much of a change, so I'm willing to check that out. I'm also going to buy another Fear Scroll, buy Potion of Heal Wounds, very expensively priced Potion of Heal Wounds. I guess all assorted antique stores in the game are slightly pricier than their potion store counterparts. But let's take a look at that totally useless piece of leather armor. Perfect, exactly what we wanted. And I guess we're on our own still for now. That is all fine and dandy. I guess I've gone out of practice now with some of the other spells that we've been using, as well as just our own comfort levels and not being in a stressful situation. I've totally forgotten about calling in my mana vipers all the time, because like, why the heck not? Ooh, fortitude and ranged combat. Wait, did I end up taking that last one? I did. Oh, I did. Alchemy and Evo on the ring. Do I have nothing to enchant right now? First item. Ah, dang it. Well, my bad there, Ash. I definitely should have unbondaged. I guess now that we're back in Snake and then heading to Depths, is this where I can probably get rid of my mace, right? The question is, do we, for now, try and fool around with the +10 sword? You know what, regardless, let's take this one step at a time. Time to break the chains. And, sorry Ash and Zari, I'm sure you'll get a new vision in the future, especially when you get a look at us. Let's trash that son of a gun. And let's see, if I switch over to the longsword, it's not a huge improvement in terms of overall damage, but how much the improvement of 8 intelligence? Ooh, holy crap. Maxwell's capacitive coupling is almost castable. See, the slow ego, really bad, very rough, but being able to cast level 8 spells, kinda cool. That's a tough one. I guess slow, especially in combination with the fact that I'm already slow all the time, might be interesting to say the least. But here we go. Let's let everyone line up in a nice orderly queue. Then we can just freaking blast him like we do. Not too bad. Checking over all the piles. Nothing too much that we have interest in. So it continues. Ah, hello. Should notice when I'm getting surrounded. My bad. Especially when I'm not even in my poison resistant mode. Not great. But an irradiate. Maybe 2. I could wait for one more teleportation of surrounding. But I do actually feel right just tanking most of these sharpshooters, because they do deal a pretty hefty amount of damage on their own. We're still not dangerously contaminated, but it gets close. I don't actually know how many casts I can get away with. I guess 3 is probably upper limit. Or not upper limit, rather, but at least to be completely safe and not worried about mutations from contamination. Regardless, it's all that's required at the very least, right? Let's see, what do we have? Ooh, Ring of the Hare. Dang, we had Ring of the Tortoise in a shop earlier too. Could have gone the full package, but unfortunately, neither is quite worth the trade-offs right now, and it's a bit harder for us to trade off than the average character. Ooh, definitely irradiate. Roll the anacondas. No, really, just tabbing our way through everything, no problem. Ain't no thing. And, ooh, wait, who opened your door? Excuse me? Excuse me? Sirs? Why you do? That's fine, I guess. One of these days we're gonna have some real AoE and be able to take care of these problems a bit more efficiently. For now, I am happy to just keep grouping in, irradiating select few at a time here. Let's go one more, and I think that's getting us, that might have been 4 even, now that I think about it. But hey, we might learn the answer to my earlier question about the upper bounds, so there is that. Alright, I'm being constricted, that makes sense why I'm not really able to retreat along my proposed path. 'Tis all fine and dandy, of course, though. Let's just take these fights as few opponents at a time as possible. Maybe occasionally resorting to some magma throw-in. Perfect. At least to take care of some of these kind of tougher enemies. Come on, we're so close, game. Just let me auto-fight it. I know I'll probably regret it, but I'm fine, I'm sure. Yeah, let's definitely maybe hide around the corner a bit more effectively here, just to make sure we can heal up for the most part. Didn't end up making it all the way there regardless, but still slightly better off. Hello, friends. Welcome to the party. Aha. There we go. All our contamination is gone. So thank you so much, Guardian Serpent, for making my day. Anytime you can situate us in the ideal position without us having to do all the work, love to see it. Let's just get rid of those exclusions before they drive me crazy. And continue to draw all the attention to ourselves. Ooh, in fact, we're drawing it from multiple directions now, so this is probably where I start to backpedal just a wee bit. Don't have to be stupid about things, right? And then, though, we can just tap, 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 tap. I'm surprised I haven't been hit by the slow effect as much as I otherwise might have expected. Not that I'm complaining, game. Anything that helps me out, you do you, of course. It is an interesting... Wait, something in the way. Oh, that's become the closest. No, bad auto fire. Oh gosh. My auto throw is broken by Ash. No. That's all good. We lived without it for so long. Can live with it for a bit. And come on, Serpent, Guardian Serpent, I need more. Feed me more of your friends. I guess these are all kind of bad surrounds. Like, I'm not getting great efficacy out of my contamination. Which is fine. I guess it's still cool to irradiate just for the sake of irradiation, of course. But that is perfect. Slowly but surely making our way through this in a much safer way than I have in some of our previous runs. It is, of course, largely due to the fact that we can just take it easy, having returned here after clearing much more difficult sections of the game. Well, I say that with bated breath, ready to be proven wrong. I shouldn't say stuff like that. Not right when we're assaulting the Rune Vault, you know? Bad form. I also just realized I think it would be fun to have a special game mode for this, in which you start out lethally poisoned and with the ability to cast statue form. So you have to just keep remembering to cast it in order to stave off the poison that's affecting you. Might just be tedious and boring. Might be kind of cool. Just a fun way to use that specific interaction. There we go. Guess we might as well still explore the rest of the floor, even though it might seem slightly pointless after grabbing the Rune Vault. And let's do the classic Control F period, just to make sure not missing out on too much here. Doesn't look like it. At least from my very brief scan. But I'm definitely more than happy to call it good enough. Then, what else? What else? I want to keep going to some extent here. At the same time, it's a half decent stopping off point. Maybe we could do a couple more floors before we finish for the night here. Though it's definitely getting there. Especially, yeah, my voice is starting to lose its ability to perform whatsoever. It's weird. It goes through like ebbs and flows where I'll feel like I'm talking like I have a sore throat, and then I'm talking back to normal again. I guess it's when I get excited, when I add certain pitches and stuff like that. Maybe at least through the vibrations of my jawbones, it feels like a slightly more normal voice, but I'm definitely starting to hear it myself. And so, let us finish off strong with a brief delve into the depths, as it were. And at least finish the first floor, maybe in the first couple, depending on how it goes speed-wise here. Ah, right, this is what was going on. I had this annoying little vault that I was debating whether to give the time of day. Well, I think we're prepared to try it out, even though I should remember to not necessarily have statue form on at all points of time, because this is where we were running into a whole lot of earth mages. Well, just take the hit on that one, the Orb of Destruction. That's fine, I guess. Turned out okay at the very least. Oof. There we go. That's a good example of, even though we're in a strong place, these elemental hits still take it out of you, hey? Well, fortunately, we have stuff like Irradiate to help us out. Get us out of a jam. Here's where I'm gonna, start to be slightly more cognizant and careful of running into said earth mages. What are you? Great. Sword that is not fantastic. Not likely that it would have made a difference. I'm not very likely to switch over to a two-handed weapon. Caustic Strike. So that's what you were holding in reserve, hey? And I'm going to be fighting it at low health because of the Fire Giant? Not likely. I'm going to use the Fire Giant as an escape tool, maybe? In the thin, winding corridors, at least, it kind of works. Heck yeah, completely lost them. Suckers. Jeez Louise. Oh, whoops. Just casting statue form over and over. That's not what we wanted to do. Let's instead wait out our turn patiently. And, I guess I never should have woken you buddies up, hey? Nothing back here is really worth it. Especially fighting off a bunch of dang old fire bros, and the Caustic Strike. The big one. Definitely. That's something that we want to be facing with a full complement of summons surrounding them and us, just to make sure that we get the best shakeout. But instead, let's maybe leave them for now. It's possible, but at least not extremely likely, that we'll run into them on our way out of the dungeon here. Most likely they'll keep wandering around that maze, since it is such a convoluted pathway just for them to escape out through natural wandering. Not to say it can't happen, because it almost definitely will, especially if we do say so. But at least slightly less of an issue. And we're being LRD'd. Fantastic. Of course, not so whatsoever, but... What's better? Ending my transformation and trying to fight this out, or getting LRD'd? Probably ending my transformation. Against two Earth Mages especially. Can kind of plan this out to the best result for me. And in fact, just having you next to me isn't too bad. Still can hit pretty hard, don't get me wrong. But then I can start exuding some poison here. Ooh, if your fellow Earth Mage wants to step to me as well, that would actually kind of work out. In fact, oh dang it, I was about to kind of step around that. Instead, this is actually scarier. What? Actually, yes, definitely summon while exuding Toxic Aura. Without a doubt in my mind game. They're snakes. Very strong snakes. And there we go, actually. Speaking of very strong snakes, my Mana Viper is just doing all the heavy lifting, taking care of everyone for me. That worked out. Can definitely ignore that, can definitely ignore those. I guess I never did end up putting the work into my auto pickup list, hey? Oh, silly me. And we should also definitely be in stone form before starting this fight. Ooh, this is a much more interesting fight than I was originally giving it credit for in my mind, but still be okay. Let's maybe work a little bit on taking out that Lich. Maybe switching even over to throwing stuff here until perfect. There we go. Now when we have both Liches in sight, I'm willing to expend magic points in order to expedite the process of their hopefully violent murder. And that should just about do it. Perfect. And then we can be a bit more regular with how we fight the rest of these sons of guns. Bring in some Vipers behind me to help with spellcasters getting sneaky about it. Let's see, still no earth mages. The smiter is directly in front of me, so I should even take out them first. I realize that I should be preparing for all of these things to take a sudden turn in the negative direction, instead of just tabbing my way through like we have no cares in the world. But to be fair, it's at least going well. I guess, ooh, I should be taking out the fire dragon. The fire dragon is gonna be an issue. Can you murder something that is undead? Definitely a debatable claim. I mean, you can just re-kill them, right? You can unalive them. Is that instead what it's called? That does immediately bring to mind a random quote that has just stuck with me throughout the ages here. Is from, oh, what year did that come out? It's probably like the mid to late 2000s movie Helsing, or Van Helsing. There was like Hugh Jackman as the titular character, but there's a line that's given in that movie by Dracula himself, and he says something along the lines of, "You can't kill me, Victor. I'm already dead." And it just always comes to my mind when I think of random quotes and stuff. And I liked that movie, especially as a young teenager when it came out. But definitely not that much. It's not that great of a movie. Kind of fun, for sure. Very good romp. Which is all you're looking for a lot of the time. But I should know better to claim about killing vampires, if just for that reason alone. Have a bit of a history with it. Okie dokie, let's start calling in some friends here to clog the way as I decide that I cannot actually finish this fight. Could teleport out of here, or at least attempt to. Be one way. And you love this terrible ROMs and movies? There's some stupid but entertaining to watch. Exactly, as long as things are entertaining, that's why we're watching movies in the first place, right? Also remember that movie being fun? Glad I wasn't the only one. It definitely came out at the right time. I mean, you give your protagonist like a cool ass repeating crossbow when I'm in my formative teenage years, and I think that anything like that is just the coolest thing ever. Sure, it does a lot of the heavy lifting for them. There we go. We regain our speed organically just as we turn another corner. Not too bad. I raised my eyebrows there because I saw a Quicksilver dragon suddenly come out of the shapeshifters there for a moment. Also, steampunk vibe to it, definitely. I'd fully agree with that assessment. No, a very fun reimagining of Van Helsing. In general, like all the gadgets were pretty awesome at the time, I remember. Let's take all these buddies upstairs. In fact, forget about irradiate sometimes. That might be a movie I have to go back and rewatch. I'm curious how well it holds up in multiple different regards there. Ooh, and interesting. Do I bind this sword to me? I could even just do it temporarily, right? Switch over to the Autumn Katana maybe when we're heading into the final section of the game, and that slow effect will be the cause of my untimely demise. I also forget, what was I taking from the requirement scroll? Scarf of Resistance, right. Which we need to break this for. This Companions and Cunning, neither of which we cannot live without. We're still at max willpower stacks, even as we are slowly but surely removing willpower equipment. So that definitely works for me. One more look here. Fortitude are the defensive skills, and another evocation boost would be interesting to say the least. I'm tempted to put some heavy spellcasting modifiers onto the sword if we can. Because the plus 10 int is the whole reason why I'm using this longsword in the first place. So maybe we'll give it a moment to that extent, rather. Okay, we've now spread out all these monsters across the entire level instead of having them all condensed into one tight area. Gonna have to see if that's something we can live with, or we come to regret our decisions to the utmost degree. One can never tell, but I guess it also depends on what we pick up here. A terrible ring, Staff of Earth I don't want, and probably don't care too much about Piece of Zom's chessboard at this stage in the game. Don't get me wrong, Zom, I love you, buddy, but not exactly what we're hoping for right now, at least. Okay, let's definitely bring in some friends, just try and burst our way through any scarier creatures, or at least historically scarier, because normally fire dragons not necessarily the be-all end-all, but in this run in particular. Wait, yes, bring in my vipers, please. I promise I won't regret it. Perfect. And definitely smoothing out now that we've gone over that initial little hiccup, figuring stuff out. Of course, more fire beasties, hey? I guess, and the Hellefont I'm not even dealing with yet. Oh gosh, there are a couple of you too. Fun stuff. Guess using a fire weapon is kind of my main issue here, hey? Let's try out an iron shot? 2? 3? Maybe I can hit once? It's a 76% chance to hit. I wouldn't expect to miss a few in a row, but that is how probability works. You never know. So we just continually make all the noise in the world, I'm sure, out here. All the buddies inside are just crowding against this close wall because they know something's going on out there. But let's hide even further, shall we? Yeah, I'm okay with this. Not the greatest way to start out the fight, but definitely at least got to heal up partially and can then switch over to different techniques and weapons as needed. This is the whole reason that we love being a Gnoll, is our ability to on the fly switch between flinging powerful spells and then change over to throwing when we run out of magic. It's a pretty sweet dealio, all things considered. And just about coming to the end of the floor here. For Evo, still our options. Just want to make sure that I don't miss something rolling over in the chaotic nature of defeating the rest of the world here. Perfect. And just about done. There we go. Alchemy and evocations. I mean, closer. Don't get me wrong, Ash. That's closer to what I was asking for. Still not quite there, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to hold off on that. Does allow us to change off this weapon if we find a situation where we might want to. And in fact, when we were fighting all those fire things, I probably just should have swapped over. Hot swapped to the Autumn Katana. But it is what it is. And didn't think about it at the time, unfortunately. But let's see here. Definitely getting a little bit later. Let's do one more floor. It'll be a nice make or break moment. I guess I didn't necessarily want to be statue form. Only one Earth Mage though. Won't kill me immediately. And so I think I'd prefer to get some poison and whatnot coming down. En masse. And in fact, first Earth Mage is almost dead. Could keep this up for just a little bit here. Second Earth Mage is on the way in. Should keep that in mind, and we're able to retreat with dispatch whenever we want, and in fact, could do so. Why the heck not, right? So we take a whole bunch of damage coming up the stairs. Turns out more prudent than I otherwise might have initially suspected. Perfect. I think I still will enter statue form, if just for the additional defenses that we get. I think that all things considered, that's still slightly better, or less damage overall than the LRDs coming off of the Earth mages, and especially since I guess when we're by their friends, they don't LRD us, right? Also perfect timing. The reminder to stretch their player rack. Thank you so much. Always rely on all you lovely folks to keep me from getting too tensed up, especially when playing this game and getting to the end of a session. Definitely been holding everything in, trying to not let myself lose even an iota of focus throughout the course of a run here. So appreciate it. And bring all my friends back to my stairway. Please and thank you. I should have checked distortion. No distortion. Cool. Very, very cool. In that case, let's get a slap in here. And as soon as those Hell Knights step in, we can then take our own step up and blast them. Absolutely blasted. Perfect. And onwards we go. Corroded me even through my resistance. That is a shame too bad, but it happens. Definitely happens. Let us continue on. Oh wow, I wasn't even in statue form there. Silly me. Completely forgetting one of my fundamental defensive abilities. Fun stuff. Here's somewhere where I'm going to switch to the ADOM Katana. Maybe we can even use this as a bit of trial run, test out for size. I mean, it is going to just absolutely slay in the amount of overall damage. Attacks with 0.6 speed as well, so that's nice. Oh, that was a Reaver. Oh, I definitely should have been statue formed for a Reaver. I thought they were just a warrior. Maybe it is a good time for me to be getting close to calling it the break for the night, as my brain slowly has gained additional problems throughout the course of the run. Or the evening, rather. It's definitely slowing down and forgetting some of the fundamental things that really shouldn't be forgetting at these stages in the game where everything becomes so pivotal. But at the very least, I like to leave it off at a bit of a round moment. So let's finish off the floor here. I at least believe in myself enough to think that we just might have the capability to pull through in one piece. And perfect. That's just about it. Oh man, even right after saying that I'm gonna end the game at the end of the floor, it comes too soon. Just starting to get back into the flow. As soon as I wake myself up and kind of, you know, mentally slap myself around to get it out of my drowsy state, it seems to pick up all of a sudden, surprisingly enough. Shocker. But that is all good, and I think I'm still happy to call this here. Yeah, unforced errors tend to creep in when fatigued, definitely. I think I've described it on stream before, but I will do so again for anyone who didn't or wasn't around the last time, that I find that DCSS, once you get to a certain skill level, is very much like an endurance game to me, because it's all about keeping your mental focused, latched on long enough to get through without any really horrifying mistakes. And it makes sense with the fact that yet a stupid death is the saying that got conned on, because it is. Once you have a certain level of skill, you feel like you should be able to make it through most parts of the game, you know, barring some really extended circumstances or things like that. But the reason why it's still tough, even after all these years of playing, really, it's still tough to make sure that we are staying focused throughout the course of an entire run and paying attention to when those opportunities to make, yeah, stupid mistakes is what I always call them. Unforced errors is the probably better way to phrase it, because that's definitely how I at least feel about the game. And it's part of what I enjoy about the game. It's a fun, all-encompassing interaction where you are really focused and engaged with the game throughout the entirety of a run, regardless of your comfortability with it. You're never quite safe, right? You're on your last blinks. You get the same with certain games too, definitely. Yeah, but still an absolutely fantastic day. We went from coming back into this at the end of the stream on Wednesday, throwing away 3 or 4 poor innocent Gnoll's lives. But today, just immediately, brain was in the zone. I was, I think, just waiting on some level for the next DCSS Sunday to come back in after my my vacation and break. But absolutely killing it with Gnoll model being the role model for absolutely every other little Gnoll out there. Maybe, just maybe, we can come out with the Orb and we can continue to have that position in our, let's go with city, where this Gnoll comes from. I was debating between town, city, village, but definitely the big city. This is a big city Gnoll. Part of why they got into modeling in the first place. But with that in mind, I definitely, had a whole lot of fun today. I hope you enjoyed watching as well. First time coming back to the official Sunday stream since the break, so I very much appreciate any and all of you who made your way on out here, or watching this in the future too, of course. Whatever works best for you and is the most convenient way to digest the content. Regardless, I appreciate it very, very much and absolutely love getting to do this a couple times a week. But yeah, we will be calling it an end to the night here. A satisfying end, ready for us to throw away all of the progress at the start of next week when I'm not as much in the zone as I was today for whatever reason. Right? Although these days you tend to think your splats occur due to bad RNG than unforced errors. Nice, yeah, as long as it depends on your scheduling and how long you play for, I guess that definitely makes sense. But yeah, definitely appreciate you all so much. We will take a quick look, and in fact, I'll do it before I get my little spiel to see who else might be on, because we'll definitely pass a raid on at the end of the stream here. Perfect. It does look like Crimson Spartan or Crim is on here, so always very happy to send people their way. Right now they're playing Sekiro Shadow Die Twice, so a little bit of a different game, but similar styles in terms of the kind of masochistic, difficult games that you enjoy because they're hard. But yeah, I definitely would recommend sticking around, checking out their stream. Always good stuff. And yeah, I guess that's the end of it. If you are watching and you aren't already, I definitely appreciate a follow. If you enjoyed the show, it helps you be notified whenever we go live here and see what we're playing as well, because sometimes we do have to throw things off just slightly in order to make things work. But yeah, regardless of all of that, I do hope that all of you lovely folks out there are having a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you out there. And I definitely hope to see you sometime in the future, whether that be on Wednesday when we're continuing our Life is Strange, trying to get through that storyline in one piece, making the world a better place. Just want to make everyone happy. Well, most people happy. There are a couple of them that I don't care for, but most people just want to improve their lives and get them out of the ruts that they've stuck themselves into. Or next Sunday when we're hopping right back in with Gnoll model, trying our very best to grab that 3rd rune and maybe, just maybe, eke out a nice little Gnoll victory for ourselves. But see you soon. As I awkwardly stumble with my hotkeys. There we go.